Good morning. Okay, we're going to be going through Matthew 6. Paul talks about becoming a Christian, and you have to be, well, it's like growing up. First, you're a baby, so you do a lot of milk, and as you grow and mature, you start eating puddings, jellos, and then you advance to cereals. Cheerios, Frosted Flakes, Corn Flakes, mashed potatoes, beans, and finally you grow enough to where you start eating meat. And meat is a whole meat dinner consisting of everything, including dessert. Well rounded, nutritious, gives you all the energy that you need in order to uh, get to the next meal. Well, the Christian life is also very much like that. We're going to begin this and see exactly where it leads to. Matthew 6 is the Bible condensed in one chapter. This is the baby food. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more important than food, and the body more important than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or stow away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the lilies of the fields grow? They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If you look at leaves, grass, anything that grows, look at it real close, and you'll see life. Life that is unexplainable. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So now, as you grow, you start seeing things. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are good, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? No one can serve two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. So what do? Constant prayer. Prayer is the thing that you do. You talk to a friend. Well, treat Jesus Christ as your closest friend. When you fast, do not look sober, as the hypocrites do, for they disfigure their faces to show men they are fasting. I tell you the truth, they have received their reward in full. In other words, if you fake it, other living people will see you and say, he's fasting, he's a good man, when in actuality he isn't, because he's already gotten his reward. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that it will not be obvious to men that you are fasting, but only to your Father who is unseen. And your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. In other words, go in your closet to pray. Stay in your closet when you do pray. Just you and God alone will make the closeness even closer. For if you forgive men when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive men their sins, your Father will not forgive your sins. In other words, if your brother sins against you, you have to sort him out and ask him for forgiveness. Now, who's your brother? Everybody, from Samaritans to Gentiles, if it's a human being, male or female, child, elder, older, younger, they are your brothers and sisters. Seek them out and forgive them. Now, this is where the meat comes in. This then is how you should pray. And what you do is you put yourself into your prayer. It starts out with, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Instead of saying our, my Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give me, in other words, give Gene today my daily bread, and forgive Gene my debts, as I also had forgiven our debtors. And lead Gene not into temptation, but deliver Gene from the evil one. And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the street corners to be seen by men. I tell you the truth, they have received their reward in full. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father, who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. And when you pray, do not keep on babbling like pagans, for they think they will be heard because of their many words. Do not be like them, For your Father knows what you need before you ask Him. In other words, keep it just between you and God, totally alone with God, with your friend, one on one. But when you worship, do it in a congregation, a multitude. Be careful not to do your acts of righteousness before men, to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets, as the hypocrites do, in the synagogues and on the streets, to be honored by men. I tell you the truth, they have received their reward in full. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. In other words, don't boast. I did that. No. Just do it and walk away. Just walk away from it. Because it doesn't matter. Not here on earth. You know, you can either be in the world or of the world. If you're in the world, you want to be popular, you want to be rich, you want to have all these things given to you, and you want to boast about what you have done. Well, pride comes before the fall. And pride is something that will kill people, literally kill. But if you do things like put $100 in the offering plate, but don't tell anybody. See somebody on the street, walk to them, give them $10 and then run away. Or put $10 in their path. So when they walk, they'll see it, and look around and see if anybody's seeing them, bend over to pick it up. You don't even know if they picked it up because you weren't even there to see it. Now that is done secret. So with that, that's the meat of the whole Bible in one chapter, Matthew 6. May 12th, what opportunity reveals? Thus Popular left all he had in Joseph's hand, and he did not know what he had except for the bread which he ate. Genesis 39:6. In the summer of 2014, a bank teller pled guilty to embezzling nearly $2 million from the State Bank of Lincoln, where she worked as head teller. She pulled off her crime by having access to the bank's vault and by changing audit numbers. Because she had worked at the bank for nearly 10 decades, she was trusted. Joseph, in a much shorter time, grew to be totally trusted by his master, Potiphar, a wealthy officer in Egypt. In fact, Potiphar turned over so much responsibility to Joseph, managing everything he owned, that all he knew about his property was the food he ate every day. Joseph managed everything else. How easy in such a situation. Complete trusted access to great wealth. Would it have been for Joseph to line his own pockets with popular's goods? What a playwright Oscar Wilde said, "I can resist anything except temptation," was not true of Joseph. His integrity was not changed because of his privileged position. Circumstances don't create character, they reveal character. Arm yourself today with the integrity of Christ. May 12th, better to obey. So Samuel said to Saul, "Has the Lord a great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed than the fat of rams." 1 Samuel 15:22. Author and pastor Ben Patterson was mountain climbing with 3 friends when he took an ill-advised shortcut and got separated from the others and found himself trapped on an icy ledge. When his friends finally found him, they talked him off the ledge, telling him where to put his feet, which he couldn't see, as he inched off the ledge. Only by obeying the instructions of his more experienced friends was he saved from certain death. There is value in obedience. Often we think we have a better idea or plan than God, but once we execute our plans, we lose the opportunity of seeing how beneficial God's plan would have been. Saul, the first king of Israel, learned the hard way that God delights in obedience more than anything else. When Saul substituted his plan for God's, it cost him the throne of Israel. One of the greatest challenges of the Christian life is to learn that God says what he says for a reason. Better to take him at his word. Lord, thank you. Thank you for the devotion today. Even though I had to do it twice, but I'll post both of them. Now, Lord, be with us as we go through your day. And my 4 requests are still solid. For my family and their extended family, please pour out your wisdom on them. And for my classmates from kindergarten all the way up through 12th grade and their extended family, pour out your wisdom on them. Now for my friends on Facebook who I've never met and their extended family, please pour out your wisdom on them so that they don't take their eyes off you. And as for me, do what you did yesterday. Every minute, pour out your wisdom on me to keep my mind pure and set on you as I go through your day. Thank you. And now, thank you. Okay.